Ford just recently unveiled their next generation of their very popular and iconic pickup truck, the Ford F-150. With this new generation of pickup truck, they added a lot of innovative features and technology, and so in this video I want to explore just how this new redesigned Ford F-150 compares with the Tesla Cybertruck. I'm Jonathan Stewart, and welcome to Cleanerwatt. Of course, when it comes to the design elements of these trucks, they are completely different. The newly redesigned Ford F-150 looks like a traditional Ford pickup truck, whereas the Tesla Cybertruck looks like nothing else that is out on the market today. We're going to set the aesthetics aside for a minute, and we're going to look at the features and the technology that is built into each one of these trucks and see which one is really a better truck. First of all, I think it's important to examine the price range and what you'll actually pay for each one of these trucks. So the Tesla Cybertruck is going to be available in 3 different variants: single motor rear-wheel drive, dual motor all-wheel drive, or the tri-motor all-wheel drive. The price will range from around $40,000 to around $70,000. Ford has not yet given specific pricing for the 2021 Ford F-150, but if we look at the 2020 Ford F-150, it's currently available in 5 different trim levels: XL, XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, or Platinum, starting below $40,000 and going well over $50,000. Because this video is all about technology and features built into the truck, we're going to choose the highest spec option for each of these trucks. So for the Tesla Cybertruck, we're going to choose the tri-motor all-wheel drive variant with 500 miles of all-battery range. So for our example, we're going to base our 2021 Ford F-150 price estimates based on what the 2020 Ford F-150 costs now, and we're going to go ahead and add similar features that are found on the Cybertruck tri-motor. So in order to get the Ford F-150 to match up to the Tesla Cybertruck, we have to add several things. First of all, we're going to choose the Platinum trim level. We need to add a 6.5-foot bed, the Super Crew cab, a bed cover, a bed liner, the box side steps, a moonroof, the V6 EcoBoost engine because that's what the hybrid has, and we're going to be comparing the hybrid version of the truck, the off-road and tow packages, and also the safety assist features and the various interior upgrades that are needed to bring the specs up. With all this added, you see that this truck would cost just over $69,000. So I believe it's very safe to say that the 2021 Ford F-150 Platinum trim level with a V6 hybrid 4-wheel drive will cost somewhere north of $69,000. That price will be right in line with what the Cybertruck tri-motor all-wheel drive variant will cost, right around that $69,000 to $70,000 price range. But before we dive into all the features and the things built into each one of these trucks, let's talk about the specifications at a base level for these trucks. The Cybertruck tri-motor variant should get somewhere around 500 miles of EPA rated range, and the Ford F-150 hybrid should get at least 700 miles on a tank of gas. The Cybertruck will tow up to 14,000 pounds, and Ford has said that the F-150 hybrid will tow 12,000 plus pounds. The Cybertruck will be offered in one bed length, and that will be a 6.5-foot bed, whereas the Ford F-150 should be offered in a 5.5-foot to 8-foot bed. The Cybertruck will have a payload capacity of around 3,500 pounds, whereas the F-150 hybrid should have a payload somewhere around 1,100 to 2,300 pounds. Then of course the ground clearance for the Cybertruck should be around 16 inches, and the Ford F-150 hybrid will be somewhere in the 9 to 10 inch range without a lift kit added. Now let's dive into some of the interior features found in the newly designed Ford F-150, and then we'll compare these two features that we expect in the Cybertruck. A really basic but innovative feature found in the new Ford F-150 is their interior work surface. This allows for the center column area to become a very flat surface in the Ford F-150, which allows you to work with a laptop or a notebook right there on a flat surface. Another really useful feature that Ford built into the interior of the new Ford F-150, if you purchase the vehicle in a King Ranch, Platinum, or Limited model, you can get the Max Recline seats, which fold down to nearly 180 degrees so you can rest or sleep in the truck comfortably. The new Ford F-150 also features up to a 12-inch center screen that is in landscape orientation, and they also offer a 12-inch digital gauge cluster that shows a lot of data while you're driving, like the selectable drive modes and off-roading data, and also turn-by-turn navigation. Another useful feature that they built in is a lockable, fold-flat rear storage, which adds a vault storage solution to the Ford F-150 behind the front seats. This is great for locking away valuables and keeping them from the sight of anybody that would potentially steal them from your truck. So how do these impressive features compare to what we expect to find in Tesla's new Cybertruck? While we don't have a ton of details on the finished version of the Cybertruck and what the interior will look like, we do know some basic features from the prototype. The Cybertruck will have a beautiful panoramic glass roof, much like many of their other vehicles, like their newest vehicle, the Model Y. It will definitely offer a very nice vegan leather seating, and it will have a 17-inch beautiful touchscreen that controls most of the functions of the truck. The truck will also offer seating for 6 people, have an interesting LED light bar that lights the cabin, and also features a very clean, simplistic dash like Tesla's new design in the Model 3 and the Model Y. Something else that I expect to be found in the Cybertruck is Tesla's new steering wheel that they filed a patent for. Tesla recently filed a patent for a steering wheel with touch-sensitive panels. According to this drawing, you should be able to control the drive selections and other various features right there on the steering wheel. This, combined with the touchscreen, is going to replace many other stalks and other buttons found in traditional trucks. I also expect that the Cybertruck will have a place for your cell phone to charge wirelessly and a great place to dock it right there securely as well. The Ford F-150 with the off-road package is definitely going to have different off-road modes that you can select in the screen, and I believe the Cybertruck will have those kind of features as well. Something else that will be really useful in the Cybertruck is the fact that you have a 17-inch huge screen, which will allow you to display a very large image from your rear backup camera if you need to back up into a tight spot, or if you have a trailer and you're trying to back that up, or you're trying to back up to connect the hitch. The Ford F-150 will have this as well, but it just won't be quite as large. The new Ford F-150 will have some software which will help you when you're towing a trailer, especially when you're backing up. It'll help guide you and assist you and tell you which way to turn your steering wheel. I do expect that the Cybertruck will have some similar software to help you in these situations. Now let's dive into some of the exterior feature differences between the two vehicles. The first thing you notice when you take a look at the Tesla Cybertruck is, of course, the stainless steel exterior, which Tesla calls their exoskeleton. This stainless steel alloy will be the same material found on SpaceX's upcoming Starship. So the exterior of the Cybertruck will be made out of a 300 series stainless steel alloy, where of course the Ford F-150 will have an aluminum alloy body that will be painted. A standard painted aluminum alloy pickup truck like a Ford F-150, it'll easily get scratched, it'll easily get dented, and of course it's not going to be as strong as a very thick stainless steel exterior. The stainless steel that will make up the Tesla Cybertruck will be dent resistant. If it scratches, you can buff out that scratch. And of course, according to Elon, it'll be able to withstand a 9mm bullet, so it's somewhat bulletproof. When it comes to a work truck and something that you want to be really durable and still look good in the long term, the Cybertruck is definitely going to be the winner there. Also, the new Cybertruck will have their armor glass, and although it didn't do very well in the demo at the reveal event of the Cybertruck, it is going to be much stronger than any traditional glass that we found on the Ford F-150. Not only will this be a good safety feature to protect you from things coming in and hitting you in the cabin, but also I believe it'll be a good cost savings thing too, because it'll take a lot to crack this windshield, and just a little rock will not chip it in most cases. Something that I think is really good that they added to the new Ford F-150 is a built-in generator. They call it Pro Power on board, and with a Ford F-150 hybrid, you'll be able to choose either an optional 2.4 kilowatt output or a 7.2 kilowatt hour output. And if you opt for the larger 7.2 kilowatt version, it'll also feature 240 volt 30 amp outlets. We also know that the Tesla Cybertruck will include 120 and 240 outlets as well, which will allow you to do very similar things, except that the Cybertruck will be using your battery capacity, whereas the Ford F-150 will be running a gas generator, which will be very loud and also will put out pollution right there on the spot. When it comes to exterior storage for the Ford F-150, you of course have the bed, and that's it. But when it comes to the Cybertruck, not only do you have a great lockable bed with a built-in cover, but you also have storage under the bed, you have storage on the side sail pillar apparently, and you of course have a frunk or a front trunk. As far as we know, the new Ford F-150 will not feature air suspension like Tesla's new Cybertruck will. The Cybertruck is going to feature an adaptive air suspension system, which will help with features like load balance handling, which will dynamically adjust to keep the front and rear of the truck even with a full payload. Another really big plus for having an air suspension system in a truck versus a standard suspension system is, of course, you don't have to make a compromise on the ride. When a manufacturer designs the suspension systems for their trucks, if they don't use an air suspension system, they have to compromise between ride comfort and, of course, the ability to have a lot of payload. The suspension system has to be able to handle both of those, whereas with an air suspension system, it can dynamically adjust and give you the best of both worlds. The air suspension system on the Cybertruck will also be really great when you are loading something into the back of the truck. It can kneel down for you. And it'll also be great because it can actually lower when you're entering the truck, so it's a lot easier to actually enter the vehicle. Now, of course, one of the most important exterior features on a truck is, of course, the truck bed itself. This is what makes a truck a really useful vehicle. According to Ford, every all-new F-150 comes standard with new cleats mounted to the sides of the tailgate to act as tie-down locations for extra long items in the bed. They also put new clamp pockets built into the tailgate of every truck so customers can hold down materials for precision work. They also built in a tailgate work surface, which includes integrated rulers, a mobile device holder, a cup holder, and also a pencil holder. When it comes to the bed of the Cybertruck, we do know from the pictures of the prototype that it has T-slotted rails in the back, which will allow for a large number of various attachments to be added to the vehicle, and you can do all kinds of wonderful things back there and customizations. It also has several tie-down pockets which can be seen there circled in red, and those should be at various points of the truck. Another useful feature that Tesla will most likely add to the Cybertruck is a flip stop to their tailgate, according to a response from Elon to Ron Pomeroy on Twitter. Another really cool feature that you have built into the bed of the Cybertruck, and of course specifically the tailgate, is that you have an integrated fold-down ramp, and also the truck will crouch down and allow you to easily load things in the truck bed like an electric ATV or similar things. For the Ford F-150, they'll most likely add a stowable loading ramp option when you purchase the truck, but you'll have to manually pull those out and attach them. The Tesla Cybertruck will also have a sliding stainless steel bed cover that will be lockable and be operated with the push of a button. If you want a cover for your Ford F-150, you of course have to purchase a cover separately, which will cost at least $1,000 and will not be nearly as useful as the one found in the Cybertruck. Then, of course, for the Cybertruck, there's really no need to have a bed liner because it's stainless steel, and you wouldn't want to cover up those T-slots found in the back, and it won't scratch up like a painted surface for a traditional truck would. For the Ford F-150, you'll of course need a spray-on bed liner or a molded bed liner, which will cost somewhere north of $500 to add. Another great feature that I hope to see in the Cybertruck was hinted at when Elon responded to a tweet from Tesla Truck Club where they put up a picture that they created of the back of the Tesla Cybertruck and the back seats completely folding flat and the window rolling up, which would allow you to actually put things all the way through and maybe even have more than an 8-foot area there to slide extra long cargo in. Elon Musk replied to this tweet simply saying, "Worth considering." Another really important aspect that we need to compare between the trucks is the ownership costs of the trucks. We don't have the official EPA rated figures for the new 2021 Ford F-150 hybrid, but we do know that the 2020 Ford F-150 with that same 3.5 liter engine without hybrid system gets around 19 miles per gallon. We of course need to account on top of that number the efficiencies found by having a hybrid powertrain, by having active shutters built into the front grille, and also the new Ford F-150 will have an active air dam. According to Ford, it's going to be their most aerodynamic Ford F-150 that they've ever built. The Cybertruck should also be a very aerodynamic vehicle, and it should actually be more aerodynamic than the Ford F-150. According to a tweet from Elon, he said, quote, "With extreme effort, the Cybertruck might hit a 0.30 drag coefficient, which would be insane for a truck. Requires tweaking many small details." When the Cybertruck was revealed, I did some math and figured out a basic estimation of what I believe the Cybertruck will be in efficiency. I'll put a link to that video in the description below if you're curious to watch the actual math of how I got these numbers. But for our estimates, we're going to assume that the tri-motor all-wheel drive variant of the Cybertruck will consume around 400 watt-hours per mile, and the Ford F-150 Platinum Series with a 3.5 V6 hybrid engine and their added efficiencies will get somewhere around 25 miles per gallon. If you look at the annual fuel/energy cost for these vehicles, the Cybertruck will cost roughly half the amount of the Ford F-150 for energy versus fuel. On top of that, when you compare maintenance between the two vehicles, the Cybertruck will require very little maintenance. You will of course have to replace the tires, the cabin filters, and probably do some kind of preventative maintenance appointments somewhere around every 2 years. But for the Ford F-150, you'll have to replace the tires, replace the engine oil and the oil filters, replace the engine and cabin filters. At some point, replace the transmission fluid, the brake fluid, the belts, spark plugs, and of course, brake pads. Another really important thing to compare between these two vehicles is of course the built-in safety features and the future autonomous features. Ford has a system called Ford Copilot 360, and for the new Ford F-150, it'll have version 2.0 of Ford's Copilot 360 system. This will be very similar to the basic autopilot found on Tesla's vehicles today. It'll include pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, a lane keeping system, adaptive cruise control, pedestrian detection, and blind spot monitoring. However, although these features look very similar on paper, when it comes to real-world uses, Tesla's system will most likely perform better. According to the Euro NCAP, which is the European New Car Assessment Program, if you look at the safety assist features for the Ford Explorer in the 2019 model year, you can see there that it earned a safety assist score of 76%, whereas the 2019 Tesla Model X earned a safety assist score of 94%. This shows that Tesla's basic autopilot and the safety systems built into their car are apparently a much safer system now, and most likely will be by the time the Ford F-150 comes out. Ford also in the future will be releasing a feature called Active Drive Assist, which will have some semi-autonomous features. According to Ford, quote, "Their Active Drive Assist program will allow for hands-free driving on more than 100,000 miles of divided highways in all 50 states and Canada. Its advanced driver-facing camera tracks head position and driver gaze to enable hands-free driving when available. It allows owners on certain sections of pre-mapped divided highways to drive with their hands off the steering wheel." So Ford's Active Drive Assist program will only work on certain mapped highways and will not be available on all those highways. According to Ford, their Active Drive Assist system should be functional sometime in the third quarter of the 2021 calendar year and will be delivered by an over-the-air software update, and a separate payment will be required to activate the full functionality at that time. While we don't know the price for Ford's system, we do know that Tesla is offering a full self-driving prepayment that you can make for the Cybertruck, which costs around $7,000. At the very base level, this will include navigate on autopilot, auto lane changes, auto park, summon, traffic light and stop sign control, And in the future, when this is released, it'll probably also include auto steer on city streets. Keep in mind also, where Ford's Copilot 360 system only works on mapped highways, Tesla's system will work anywhere in the world as long as it has a clear view from its cameras. Each of these trucks will also have a lot of technology built in, things that we haven't yet really talked about, including these features which will be offered in both trucks. Over-the-air software updates, voice control capability for different features in the truck, real-time traffic and built-in navigation, hands-free phone calling and phone connectivity, streaming satellite radio services, smartphone app to control and monitor different aspects of your truck, 911 assist features which automatically will alert emergency responders in the event of an accident, and they will also likely have some kind of backup and trailer assist software built into the vehicles. Something that Ford is going to be offering, but Tesla will not, is that the Ford F-150 will have Apple CarPlay connectivity and also Android Auto compatibility. The Ford F-150 will also have a built-in 4G Wi-Fi router, which will allow you to connect up to 10 devices. Some of the features that we know will be found on the Cybertruck that are not found on the Ford F-150 will be things like Tesla's Sentry Mode security system, their dash cam recorder, which records multiple angles for a 360-degree view of a car. The Cybertruck should also include all hardware necessary for full self-driving. It includes the Tesla Arcade and Tesla Theater for playing videos like YouTube and Netflix videos, dog mode, camp mode, and of course many other modes which can be found on Tesla's current software versions. So I believe that's been a very exhaustive comparison between these two vehicles, and we spent a lot of time on different features, but I think one of the most important differences between these vehicles really comes down to tailpipe emissions. Although the Ford F-150 hybrid will be more efficient than a traditional pickup truck, it will still emit harmful emissions out of the tailpipe. The Tesla Cybertruck will of course not have any tailpipe emissions. And every time you bring that up, people talk about the fact that energy also had to be generated, and sometimes it comes from a dirty grid. But according to a study from Transport and Environment, the average gas burning and diesel burning car still emits almost 3 times more CO2 than the average electric car. So while the new Ford F-150 does have a lot of great features, and it makes me more excited for the Ford F-150 EV, I believe the Cybertruck is still going to be a better truck for many people, and in my opinion, for most people. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something as well. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, if you click that bell icon, you'll be notified when new videos are published. Also, if you did like the video, please consider clicking that like button. And also, I wanted to take a moment to thank these Patreon supporters, which help me make this content every month. If you'd like to find out more information about the Patreon community that I've set up, you can find more information with a link that I'll put in the description below. Thank you so much.